Welcome to this real estate weekly lesson. I am your host, Greg Helbeck, and I've been a full-time real estate house flipper, wholesaler, landlord for over 10 years now. I've learned a lot of lessons in this business. I've transacted over 400 properties at this point, probably almost 450. So I got a lot of experience, and today I'm going to teach you how to build a first-class buyers list in any market. I'm going to actually tell you how to do this step by step. So if you get value from this video, if you could do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to my channel because you're going to get more information from me and you'll get notified. Or if you're listening to this on a podcast platform like Spotify or Apple or iHeartRadio, do me a favor and share this with somebody who you think would benefit from it. And if you're a real dog, post it on social media. So let's get started today. Let's talk about how do you build a great cash buyers list. So let's say you want to build a buyers list in New York, or if you want to build a buyers list in Seattle, you could do this anywhere as long as there's enough people living in the area. If you're in the middle of nowhere, there's no buyers, right? For the most part. So you have to put your houses on the MLS. So assuming you're in a relatively decent size area, like more than 100,000 population, first thing you want to do, low hanging fruit, is you want to go leverage Facebook groups, right? Now, in any area that's somewhat populated, like I said, doesn't have to be a huge city like Seattle or New York City, but it has to be like even a tertiary market like Wichita Falls, Texas, or, Reading, Pennsylvania, which is the Lehigh Valley, or South Jersey, which is the Philly area. Like, there's Facebook groups that have investors in there. It's like, real estate investors of the Delaware Valley, Pennsylvania, real estate investors of Delaware, real estate investors of, New York City. So go into those Facebook groups, and most likely if there's more than 1,000 or 2,000 people in those groups, there's going to be wholesalers posting their deals on there. So the easy low-hanging fruit to start building a buyer's list is to get the email. So what you'll see is people will put a deal on a Facebook group. They'll say, 3-bed ranch in, Baytown, Texas, which is near Houston. And they'll say, if you're interested, put your email below. And then all of these buyers who are interested are going to put their email there. So then at that point, you don't have to even hit anybody up. You can just grab those emails and then reach out to those buyers and say, hey, I saw your email on a Facebook group. Can I add you to my buyers list? I have wholesale deals and, I want to look for some buyers, and you could do that. That's the first thing you could do. That's super easy. Second thing you can do is you can just post your deals on the same Facebook group. So instead of grabbing the email addresses and, privately emailing those buyers, I wouldn't recommend you grab email addresses and just add people to the list without consent. But I'm just saying you want to reach out to these buyers first and ask them if they can be on your list so you can get permission to add them, and then ultimately add them and start sending them properties. So I wouldn't just blind email people deals. Anyways, second thing is the same Facebook group. You can go in there and you can just post your deal. You get under contract. Hey, I got a 3-2 ranch in Baytown, Texas. Who wants to buy it? Put your email below and I'll send you all the details. And then people will put their emails below, assuming the market's big enough. And that's how you can build buyer. That's like the easiest way to do it. Every area I've gone into to flip and wholesale houses, I've leveraged Facebook groups to build out most of my buyers list. That's the first thing. Second thing was post the deal. The third thing you can do is you find real estate agents who have sold fixer properties before. You could call them and leverage them for their buyers. So let's say, for example, you go on redfin.com, you look at all the properties that sold super cheap that are in rough condition in whatever area you're in, and you look for the buyer's agent, not the listing agent, the buyer's agent. And you say, hey, I saw that you just sold your client a property over on Main Street. Can I add you to my network of buyers? Because I have investment properties that I want to wholesale, and I'd love to work with you and your buyers. And the thing I love about real estate agents versus going directly to buyers is that real estate agents, like one agent might have 7 buyers. So instead of you having to get 7 different people, you can go to one person and they're going to take that and they're going to show it to 7 different people to ultimately probably get you more money and have a bidding war go on. So reaching out to agents who have sold banged up properties that were either on the market or off the market and getting their information and reaching out is a money way to get a buyer's list. I did a little mailing a couple of years ago in Pennsylvania. And the way that I sold my deals, because I wholesaled a couple houses there, we didn't do any full-blown fix and flips. The way that I sold both of my deals were through one real estate agent who had multiple buyers who bought the properties from me, and I went through the agent. So that was a win-win situation. That was fantastic. The fourth thing you can do, I know I'm getting confusing here, is you can go to your local real estate meetups. Most cities have them. They're, once a month usually. You can network with buyers there. They're, cash buyers are there, wholesalers are there, lenders are there. You can go and give people your phone number and email address and collect their information, and you can add them to your buyers list that way. That's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Another thing you can do, and this is a little, not sus, but, a little tricky, is if you go on Google and you type in, sell my house for cash wherever you are, most likely there's going to be a few things that pop up. Number one, the sponsored ads are going to come up. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you click on their ads because that's going to piss the people off. Ask me how I know. Because I have people click on my ads all the time, and sometimes it's $200 a click. But you could take the website without clicking on their ad. You can figure out the domain name because you can see it. Google the domain name organically and reach out to the companies who are advertising online that they buy houses. Some of them are wholesalers, so they might not be direct buyers, but others might just be direct buyers who are going direct to seller. So pretty easy. Use Google, reach out to them. Hey, I am a wholesaler. I want to, get you on my buyers list. And a lot of people get those messages. But if someone's serious and people hit me up all the time, I'm like, yeah, I would love to be on your buyers list. Here's my email and send me deals. So that's the fourth way you can do it. And the last way you can get buyers on your buyers list is your local closers, which would be your attorneys, title companies, and escrow companies. You can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking to see if you can share with me some of the clients you work with that are, cash buyers that buy from wholesalers. And some of them might share that information. Some of them might not, depending on their style. But just reaching out to the people who facilitate these transactions is a great way to build a buyers list if they're willing to share that. Maybe they don't take you seriously at first if you're brand new, but if you're doing deals consistently and bringing them business, like if you're going through their firm to, transact the deal, if you do a couple deals with them, they'll definitely tell you. They'll say, oh yeah, you should, next time you should call up, Bob Smith or whatever. And, he's a great buyer. We close deals with him all the time. And then I'll give you a bonus way to find buyers. Call up hard money lenders, and it's specifically local ones, right? Because the national ones, they can maybe give it to you, but the ones you want to find a local hard money lender. Hey, I see you're a local lender. I'm a wholesaler. I'm looking for more buyers that I can wholesale properties to so you could give them more hard money loans. Would you mind sharing with me some of the best customers that you work with so I can wholesale them properties and ultimately get you more business? Because obviously if you wholesale them a property and they use their hard money company, it would benefit them. So that's another way to do it. You got to make sure when you're doing the indirect approach where you're hitting up like a vendor, i.e. a lender or a closer, you want to, make it to where it makes sense for them. Hey, if I can get buyers from you, we can bring you more business. It's always what's in it for them, not what's in it for you. So those are 5 easy ways to build a buyers list. You can do this all over the country, from coast to coast, from Eastern time to Pacific time, all the way out to Hawaiian time if you're feeling crazy. And if you do these things, I'm telling you right now, you're persistent, you're consistent. You obviously want to keep these people at least in a spreadsheet, if not some email software where you can email to them when they have permission. And that is how you build a buyer's list in 2025. I'll give you one more. If you stayed on this long, I'll give you one more bonus tip. This is a little bit more grunt work, but you can use PropStream or Batch Leads or Property Radar or whatever software you really Deal Machine, whatever you want. And you could just do a cash buyer search and you can find out who are the cash buyers. You can just look at cash buyers and the entities, and I think Deal Machine, you can get their phone numbers. So you could use software as well to pull that. Another thing you could do if you don't want to pay for a subscription is you can look for houses that sold that were banged up and needed work. You can go into the local county recorder's office and you can see which entity bought those properties, and you can try to skip trace the entities and call the owners of the entities, like the LLCs, and you can do that as well. So there's many ways to skin the cat. These ways are proven to work. I'm telling you right now, they're money in the bank. They work every time. And if you got value from this, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio, if you can share this with somebody you think would get benefit from it. And obviously, as always, if you're local to the Hudson Valley, Seattle, Washington, or Delaware, you have a house you want to wholesale to me, or if you want to wholesale with me, we can JV wholesale it. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. As long as the numbers make sense, we can make money. That's might be my new slogan. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, or drop me a DM on Instagram @grego37, and I'll see you on the next REI weekly lesson. Take care.